Investigation number 5. Write the word data up on your paper there. We do a lot with data and investigation there. The first thing they talk about is a pictograph. What is a pictograph? In the wide, wide world of graphs, you don't see pictographs a lot, but it is, Charlie, a
graph that shows pictures.
Yeah, a graph that uses pictures. And the most important thing when you see a pictograph, it's a graph with pics, make sure that you figure out what does each pic stand for. What is each picture? Because if you look at the graph that's given there on page 264, do you think that Michigan only makes 3 total cars? No, probably not. But you know, Ethan, that every car stands for, looking at the key,
1 million.
1 million, yes. So Michigan actually makes, Ethan?
3 million.
Just like 3 million, yes. Ohio, Ethan makes?
2 million.
Wait, was that hole especially big for your head?
Well, no, everywhere.
Nothing to say about how big your head is, or what? Is that what that is? Anyways, looking at the questions there. It says, how many cars and trucks are produced in Michigan? Oh, wait, and before we already talked about that. Display that with a horizontal bar graph. What would a horizontal bar graph look like? First of all, most bar graphs we see are vertical. So horizontal, and you can kind of sketch one out with me here. Your horizontal graphs go this way. And matter of fact, it would go just like it is there. You would label it what? Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri. Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri. Is there another one? And other states. So these are our states, and our bars are going to shoot off like this. What is the range of our numbers so we know kind of what to, what's the smallest number? What? It goes from 1 million to what? What's the most cars? Other states make how many? 5 million. So we need to go 5 million. So each one of these lines would be 1 million, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. We can go to 6 and just leave a spot there. And then if we do our little graph, we use yellow, why not? How many did Michigan make? Ethan said 3, so you're going to go out 3 million. Maybe I'll change a different color there. How many did Ohio make?
2.
2 million. Make that a nice red color. Kentucky makes?
1.
Kentucky's not a big car state, is it? Let's make Kentucky green. How about Missouri?
1 million.
Just 1 million for Missouri too? And then other states?
3 million.
It was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
5 million. Anybody's bar graph nicer than mine?
No. No. Terrible.
Don't have blue? You don't have colors? I have your markers and all that stuff.
Pens. Yeah, I have pens.
Oh yeah, they traded a bunch of pens during King.
Now, in addition to that, let's talk about a circle graph or a pie graph. Which means we need to draw a circle. I might have had a circle out there. I have circles out there. Draw it, then let me look and see. Now, why would I use a circle graph, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Why would we use a circle graph for this? Circle graphs are best when you show what?
Percentage.
Well, kind of, yeah, when you want to break things down into pieces so you can compare using pieces. Compare parts of a whole. So if I'm going to transfer this information into this bar graph thing here, or into a circle graph from my bar graph, the first thing I need to know is how many total million cars are represented. What do we get if you add all these together? 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 is what?
12.
12 million.
12 million. So if I'm going to show 12 million on my circle graph into pie pieces, I really need to cut my circle into 12 equal pieces, so each piece is worth $1 million. Is there an easy way to do that, Sam? If you were trying to cut a circle into 12 equal pieces, how would you go about doing that? Well, 12 can be cut in half, correct? So I would split my circle in half, and then in each half I have to get what? 6 pieces, right? And I can cut 6 in half, right? So boom, I can quarter that. If I quarter it, each quarter has to stand for how many?
3.
3. So now I know. Before you start splitting to 3, watch how good this turns out. I would make little tick marks. You can kind of guess a third. Say that's my third. This is my third. That's my third. That's my third. And then I would go opposite corner to opposite corner. There's one. Try to go through the middle and hit the opposite corner. It might not be perfect. I don't like that one. That's why I do things in pencil so I can erase. And then this one. So there's my pie graph of things, and you could erase if you wanted to. So Michigan would take up how many? Michigan takes up 3 million. So you can pick any 3 million you want. Let's go with this 3 right here. Wait, let's change colors though. Oh, let's make it up. So there's my Michigan. I'll probably label it. Since Michigan's colors are maize and blue, we'll use maize and blue. Michigan. Color. Ohio was 2 million. So how many pie pieces does Ohio get?
2.
Just 2. Oh, look it. What are the odds that I would choose red for Ohio? Go Buckeyes. Boo for the Buckeyes, but hey, we do what we can. Kentucky only gets 1 pie piece. Is their football team green?
I thought they were like blue and white, like Duke.
Oregon. We're not doing Oregon.
Wait, shoot.
Oregon Ducks.
Good old Mississippi is blue. Missouri, sorry, is blue. So there is Missouri. And then the rest is that super high. That all gets one giant bonus. And this would be all other states. And again, hopefully, you look at the bar graph or the circle graph, and that kind of gives you at least more of a comparison. You know, you can right away jump out and see who was first, second, third, or whatever. And all that. So probably good. Oh, what else do we have here? Turning the page. Oh, and then we have to do a line plot. In case you forgot what a line plot is, did you ever do a line plot before?
Yes.
Let's jot these numbers down. Or what are they? 5, 5, 8, 8. How many 10s? 2 10s and 11. 2 10s and 11. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4 12s. 2 13s, a 14, a 16. 2 13s, a 14, a 16. Did I do 2 13s? Probably not. 2 13s, a 14, a 16. 2 17s, an 18, 19. 17s. In case you need the quick refresher on the line plot end of things, line plots, just like they say, you need a number line. And that number line has to go from your range of data from 5 to 19. So let's do that. Here's 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then what do? For each number, you put an X on the line that represents it. So we have a 5, so we put an X above the 5. 2 8s, 6, 7, 2 8s. 2 10s, 1 and 11. 4 12s, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 13s, a 14, a 16, 2 17s, an 18, and a 19. And that is your general basic garden variety line plot. Now what is the nice thing about line plots is it's a way to organize your data. And you can see where, like, you look for the clusters. Clusters are the groupings. And if you look, right here is your main cluster. Because that's where most, this is kind of like a minor cluster, but that's where most of it is. What are we talking about in this line plot? It said take a test of 20 possible points. The scores listed here are that. Well, somebody only got 5 points.
Good for him.
Woo! Sounds like this 6th grade class. With that, we need this info here. We have what's called the mean, the median, and the mode. These are things that you need to know what are. They will come up numerous times. Mean, median, mode, and I guess we need the range too. And the range. Mean you already know. Mean is the same thing as average. We're not going to take the average of those. We will look at the median. Median is the middle. If I asked you what the median of these numbers would be, you would have to look at this. You'd have to say, how many numbers do I have? What did it say? I think it said 18 students, so there should be 18 X's. Are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What is the middle of 18? If you split 18 in half, you would get, Sam, 9. But what you have to remember is when you split it in half, there's 9 below and 9 above. So you go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th number. Okay, so the middle actually falls right here. It doesn't fall exactly on the number because there's 9 this side of it and there's 9 that side of it. But since they're the same number, if it doesn't fall in the middle, you have to take the average of the two numbers. But since they're the same number, it is going to be, what is this, 11, 12. So the median in this thing is 12. Mode, on the other hand, is the one that appears the most. So if you look on this, it'd be whatever stack is the highest. And believe it or not, the mode is also 12. And the range is the difference between the smallest and the biggest. And the smallest number was right here at 5. The biggest number was here at 19. You need to subtract them, and that will tell you the range of numbers. The range is 14. There are 14 spaces from the smallest number to that biggest number. And then one last thing is a stem and leaf plot. And let's say you have these numbers, 13, 19, 25, 28, 30, 31, 33, 33. See if this makes any heads or tails here. Stem and leaf plot is another way to organize number. The leaf is always the last digit. And the stem is whatever comes in front of the last digit. Now in this case, there's only one number in front of always. There are only 2 digits, but you can do this with 3 digits, and it looks like this. Okay, here's the leaf, here's the stem. And you do this in order. This goes from the 10s to the 30s. So you have the 10 section, the 20s, and the 30s. So the first one is 13. The leaf is a 3, and the stem is a 1. So there's a 1 here and a 3 there. And then you have a 19, so there's a 9 there. This stands for 13 and for 19. 2, you have a 5 and an 8, 25 and 28. Sorry, just the 8. 25, 28. 3, you have a 0, a 30, a 31, and 2 33s. So this is your stem and leaf plot. And through that you can see all that stuff there. You could also tell me what the median, what would be the median of those numbers? Well, how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's the middle of 8? 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. The median falls between 28, because that's what this stands for, and 30. What is the average of 28 and 30? Does anybody know? Well, you could add it together and divide by 2. You get 58 divided by 2 is 19. So the mode, or the median is 19. What would the mode be? What number shows up the most? 33. What would be the range?
13, 30.
I don't know. 33 minus 13, oh yeah, which is what? 13 minus, what, 33 minus 13 should be easy, Charlie? You say 20? Good. Very good. Very, very, very good.